Yes, I thought our guys did a great job of playing with energy in the first half, and they carried out the rest of the game. Because if I had any concerns going into the game, just the energy from the layoff, how the guys got out the gates, because they were pumped up on the bus on the way over. The bus was rocking. Whatever they were doing on top of that bus, I don't know, but they were jumping. So it was exciting to see those guys get out the gates the way they did, and just really defend. And that's the thing we talked about, defending the way we wanted to defend at the beginning of the season. Our guys have done it the last 5 games, and it's fun to watch.
All right, we'll take your questions for either of the student athletes. You'll raise your hand. We'll start right in the middle on the right side.
For Jerron and Jarnell, Jarnell, you talked this week about Tennessee hasn't had a great history in the tournament down here. What's it feel like just to come down, both of you guys, and get that first one out of the way and get a good result out of the first game?
Jarnell, you take that first.
Yeah, well, I'm excited because I feel like we didn't have a good offensive game, but our defense still led us to win by 20 plus. And the last couple of games, we shot the ball tremendously well, and we didn't shoot the ball as well today. But I'm excited because we still won by 20 just off defense.
Same for Jerron.
Coming out here, we're going to miss shots, but I think when we set a tone defensively, good things are bound to happen.
Hands up. Other questions for either of the student athletes? All right, back to the middle aisle.
Yeah, Jarnell, can you just talk about getting another shot at Florida? And you've had some individual success, but obviously 2 losses so far this year.
Well, I feel like, at the end of games, especially when they played us at home, I feel like they wanted it more. And, they're the #1 team in the country, so we have a great opportunity to see how well we've been playing as of late, and to see how well it'll play out against Florida.
We have a question on the far right, I believe. Go ahead.
Jarnell, you mentioned that the shots weren't falling on offensively. I guess how big was it that on night that Antonio wasn't taking and making a lot of shots, that Jordan was able to kind of overcome some of his first half struggles and come on strong in the second?
Well, Jordan helps me out a lot because, teams respect Jordan so much. In my opinion, he's the best scorer in the SEC. And teams respect him a lot, so he helps me out a lot. I feel like first time South Carolina double-teamed me the first time we played them, but this game they didn't. And Jordan and Antonio and Josh, those guys played a big role in that.
Question on the right. Go ahead.
For either guy, what was Coach referring to about the bus rocking? What exactly was going on?
We just getting in game mode, kind of filling each other out and really just trying to feed off each other's energy.
Other questions for either of the student athletes? Raise your hand. All right, we'll excuse you. You can return to the locker room. Thank you for coming. And we'll continue on with questions for Coach Martin, if you'll raise your hand, and we'll get a floor mic to you. Hands up, questions for the coach. Let's start right in the front.
Conzo, in 2 games against Florida, particularly the last one where you played them so close, could you talk about the challenge that Scotty Wilbekin presents for you guys?
Good question. I thought that was the key to the game. Of course, when you're playing against a very talented team with a lot of parts on both ends of the floor, offensively, they got a lot of guys that can make plays. Defensively, very sound as a team. But I thought the last 3 or 4 minutes of that game at home, I thought he just took over the game. He made plays, whether it's offensively, defensively, and we couldn't maximize at that particular position, and he won that battle. I thought everywhere else we were solid, but at that position he won the battle.
Question in the back. Go ahead.
Coach, can you just discuss the defense? And Jarnell talked a lot about the rotations as being what he thought was one of the keys to being a lot crisper on that end of the floor and just starting off the day like you played the last 4 games.
Well, defensively, this is what, when I took over the program, this is what I envisioned defensively. But, the first thing about defense, you have to buy in, totally buy in, and I think that's the biggest key, and understand the importance of when you defend at a high level, the results behind doing it at a high level. But I think with our rotation, just really trying to have fresh legs, guys having energy. I don't think it's any different than what we've done